NFL fans, welcome back to the channel. It's finally getting to my favorite time of the year. It's football season, and that means daily fantasy on DraftKings. I'm going to do my Millionaire Maker lineup. $1 million prize for first place, $100 buy-in. This is my DFS lineup. I'm going to go through all my picks and let you know why I'm drafting each one of these players for my $100 DFS Millionaire Maker tournament for DraftKings. This video is not affiliated with DraftKings at all whatsoever, but to pay $100 to get a chance to win $1 million, that's pretty cool in my book. Okay, we're going to look at quarterbacks first. So my strategy is I like to get players all around this average. You know what I mean? You pick a defense around 3K, and you're right around 6,000 per player. And I think this gives you the potential to get optimum production from very good players, right? So I don't want to pay up for a quarterback. You could pay up for CJ Stroud, but I think you can get similar production for $1,100 cheaper for Kyler Murray, right? And I think this Bills defense just lost Matt Milano, the captain of that defense, in the middle at the linebacker position, and they already lost a ton of veterans on that defense. They're going to be playing a lot of young players. If you look at the game log, he's hit 20 points multiple times last year. He didn't play a full season, but he's only had a couple dud games: 18, 22, 20, 15, 20, 24, 17. I like drafting Kyler Murray. You can get some run attempts, some goal line attempts, and some touchdown pass attempts. I really, really like this pick. All right, let's move on to running back, guys. I'm going to go in that $6,000 range again. I'm not paying up for Jonathan Taylor when CJ Stroud could potentially hold the ball for the majority of that game. Bijan Robinson is a wild card, especially going up against a very formidable Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I don't like that at all. And Miami's the same thing. They could keep the ball and have a really big time of possession lead, especially at home, right? So the running backs that I really like is I love DeAndre Swift, right? Coming in around 6K. If you watch that preseason game, Caleb Williams dumped it off to Swift for that giant 40-yard pass. I mean, DeAndre Swift can not only run in between the tackles, he can run outside the tackles, and he could catch potentially 5, 6, 7 balls if Caleb Williams is checking the ball down. I like DeAndre Swift there. And another guy I really, really love at $6,200 is James Conner, dude. If you check out his numbers from last year, look at towards the end of the year last year: 25 points, 17, 22, 29, 30. The dude was an absolute monster. I love James Conner here against a defense that was not very good against the run last year. And they're not going to be any better this year. They're going to have a rookie starting at the linebacker position. I love James Conner to have a monster game against Buffalo. He can catch balls out of the backfield, and he's one of the best running backs in the NFL, and he proved that again last year. All right, now let's move on to the wide receiver position, right? My first wide receiver, I want to go a little bit cheaper so I can kind of have some flexibility. And I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills' Curtis Samuel, right? I think he's going to be really the number one option. He's the veteran on this team in an offense with not a lot of veterans at the wide receiver position, right? And the other wide receiver is Keon Coleman, the rookie. And the other guy's more of a slot wide receiver. So this guy could be a potential big play guy for the Buffalo Bills in this spot. And I look for Allen to kind of rely on Curtis Samuel because he's that veteran. He's used to getting open. And I really think that they're going to rely on Curtis Samuel early on in this season a lot. At $4,900 for a potential number one receiver is a great price to pay there for me. And the next one, I'm going to go with a rookie. And this rookie is going to be the focal point of this offense in this entire game. It's going to be Malik Neighbors, man. And the Minnesota secondary is not what it was of years past. And, Malik Neighbors, you got to think target-wise. He's going to get at least 10 targets, right? If not more than that. And a healthy Daniel Jones is not as bad as the media portrays him to be. And if Malik Neighbors had 7 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown, I wouldn't be surprised at all whatsoever. I love Malik Neighbors. I wish he was a little bit cheaper here, but I think it's a fair price to pay. And the last guy I'm going with is the guy I'm paying up the most for in the wide receiver room. At $6,500, it's DJ Moore. And I think he's going to be the number one option for him. Roma Doomsday is a rookie. He's going to be mixed in with the snap count. He's not going to play as many snaps as Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. So DJ Moore is going to be the deep threat, deep passes over the middle of the field, and Keenan Allen's going to be the guy to move the sticks along with DeAndre Swift. So I really like DJ Moore in this spot for the Chicago Bears. And if you want to, you could probably potentially pair up Caleb Williams with all these guys if you want. But I just think Kyler Murray is great value here. And then now let's move on to the tight end position. I think this is incredible value for the price you're paying is Evan Ingram at $5,500. This dude was an absolute monster last year. Look, a 20-point game here, 18 points, 30 points. You need a guy to get you 25 to 30 points if you want to win this big tournament, right? He has the potential to do that. That's why I'm drafting Evan Ingram at $5,500 for my tight end position. Now we're going to move on to the flex spot. We have a guy that I really like, and he's a number one wide receiver. This is kind of a wild card here, guys. I'm going to go with George Pickens, right? He's got great hands. He's a very unheralded wide receiver. And if you look at his fantasy production with very poor quarterback play, we got a 23-point game, a 38-point game, 29-point game, 25-point game. He has the potential to get us 25 to 30 points. And they should have better quarterback play with a guy like Russell Wilson as opposed to like Kenny Pickett, right? All right, Daily Fantasy fans, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have our last pick. That's going to be the Raiders. I know they're on the road, but check this out. Last year, they had an absolute monster game, 25 fantasy points against the Chargers, right? It was at home, but the Chargers' offense is not even close to as good as the offense was last year. They're going to want to run the ball a lot. They don't have good wide receivers at all whatsoever. I think they're not going to score a lot of points. And at $2,800 to have a potential couple turnovers there, I like the Raiders in this spot for only $2,800. So there it is, guys. Here is my Millionaire Maker lineup. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Swift, James Conner, Curtis Samuel, Malik Neighbors, DJ Moore, Evan Ingrams, George Pickens, and the Raiders defense. Yeah, all these guys have the potential to get us 20 to 30 points, and that's what we need to place and to potentially win this Millionaire Maker in Week 1. Let me know in the comments below what sleeper guys at good value are you drafting in your daily fantasy for DraftKings. I would love to know, and maybe we mix and match a little bit and we keep making these lineups as we get closer and closer to opening day. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace!